Many people think that operating a short-term rental is easy. They just see the large numbers that you can make and think that all you need to do is just get as many bookings as you can and just collect the rent. But the truth is, it's much more than that. When you decide to rent your property as a short-term rental, you agree to be in the service industry, which means that you need to start taking extra care of the house and do extra work to stay compliant with any local ordinances and regulations. But everything you do gets harder when you encounter tough guests. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my own Airbnb horror experience and our lessons learned. By sharing the story, hopefully you'll know what to do if you encounter the same situation. About 2 years ago, my wife and I decided to move from the Bay Area to Texas because we want to experience life in a different part of the country. We didn't want to sell our home, so we just converted it into a furnished rental. And the process of converting it was actually really exciting. And we wanted our guests to enjoy the home in a better state than when we lived in it. Our first guests were a couple of interns, and these guys were amazing, and we had a great experience hosting them. And based on that great experience, we thought that we would continue to have great guests all the way through. And that was until we actually met our second guest. Our second guest found us through Airbnb. They didn't have any reviews on their profile, but at that time, we didn't really have that many options. See, our property was in an area where short-term rentals were not allowed, so we can't rent it out for less than 31 days at a time. So when we found someone willing to stay for over a month, we thought, hey, this is gonna be a pretty good deal. This group moved in right after the new year, just a few days before we were gonna make our long trek and drive from California to Texas. First day they moved in, they were very nice, and they asked us if we could give them a working desk and use some of our nice chairs for their office work. So Sharon and I went to the house. We met the guests and we actually gave them some more of our furniture. And they seemed like a very nice family. There were 2 adults with a newborn baby. These were tech workers who were moving back into the Bay Area for work, and they needed a place to stay for a little bit before they bought their own home. And at first we thought, hey, these are an older couple. They have a baby, they have solid jobs, so these are gonna be very great tenants, super chill and laid back. And to be fair, during the time that they lived with us, they didn't really bother us too much. And the neighbors didn't complain either. So we thought everything was gonna be just fine, and that was until they had to move out. The big problem was our guests were scheduled to move out in the middle of February, and we had another guest coming in around the same time. The current guest claimed that they had a family emergency and they couldn't move out on time. They wanted an extension to stay longer, and we were able to extend them for a few days, but we told them that we couldn't extend them further because we already had another guest lined up. They asked us to cancel the next guest so they could stay longer. Now, we thought about it, but we thought that this would be really unfair to our next guest. And on top of that, if you cancel on a guest on Airbnb, you get heavily penalized and it actually removes your chance of becoming a superhost. So it's basically a really big no-no to cancel unless you have an extreme reason to. Now, we explained this to our current guest and we said, hey, we're really sorry. We can't just cancel a future booking because you need to extend longer, even though we would love to have them. You know, they told me a very sad story about how their grandfather passed away and how they had to move to Los Angeles to handle some funeral arrangements. Honestly, we felt really bad and we were trying to figure out ways of making it work for both parties. My solution was that I told them that I could have my cleaner come in, we can move all of their belongings to the garage so that no future guests would touch them. And that way, at least we can get inside the home, clean the house, and get someone else inside while keeping their stuff safe. But they said, no, we don't want anyone in the house right now and we don't want anyone touching our stuff. So we were getting nervous and started looking at what to do if someone doesn't move out of your home or your Airbnb. And at the very last minute, they said, okay, fine, we'll make a last minute trip from Los Angeles back to the Bay Area to pack up and leave. So we were actually pretty relieved that they would be able to move out and so the next tenant could move in. But this is kind of where our little nightmare problem started, because when our cleaner finally went back to check on the property, they found the place to be a complete mess. Now, this wasn't a mess like they had a big party and there were holes in the walls and vomit on the floor. It was a mess as if this home was really lived in, with kitchen supplies everywhere, food all over the place. The house was just really dirty. And I can imagine with a newborn baby, the house can get really messy. Some of our toilets started leaking and wouldn't flush anymore, so we had to call an overnight plumber who said they found a lot of baby wipes that had been flushed down the toilet, as well as a bunch of random syringes and needles all over the place. So now it kind of makes sense why they didn't want us to come to the house, because they probably wanted time to come home early, clean the place up, so that when we took a look at it, it wouldn't be such a bad condition. Now, we fixed all those problems, but when the next guest came through, they started seeing a lot of mosquitoes and noticed some strong, musty smells in the house. So long story short, our sewer line was old, and from all the random things that they were flushing down the toilet, it kind of caused the drains to fail. And that's why we started seeing leaks and we started getting these weird smells in the home, even though they left our house a complete mess and caused our plumbing to fail. And I never actually mentioned it to them. In fact, I thought we were on pretty good terms based on the way we were talking to each other. Then they decided to leave us a nasty 1-star review about us and the property, which we felt was ridiculous because we were incredibly accommodating during their stay and, only denied the request to extend their stay because we already had another booking. They wrote that our house was disgusting, it was not clean, in a bad area with random sketchy people who were walking in front of the home. We were pretty surprised because during their stay, they never mentioned any of these complaints to us. And we've actually owned the home for over 30 years and we've never had anything bad happen there. As far as the house being gross, it was kind of their fault. So it was really weird having that review on there. Now, again, because of the platforms, you can't change the review. You can't even take it down. So the only thing that we could do at that point was reply back to it with a justification of everything that they said. Now, unfortunately, since this home can only be rented out as a midterm rental, we only get a review once every 30 days at most. So getting a 1-star review out of the gate was very devastating. Now, we could tell that this was a retaliation post because we couldn't let them stay there longer, and we had to live with having this negative review on our listing for such a long time, and it may have cost us future bookings. Now, after a few months, I happened to read the review again and looked really closely at our guest profile, and I was surprised to see that they actually had another 1-star review from them on another host listing. Basically, after they left our home, they had to go to another person's home, and they did the same thing to them. They flushed down baby wipes in the toilet, left needles everywhere, and ruined their piping and gave them a 1-star review. But I thought, wow, these people are just really terrible. And it's not my home that's gross, it's probably the way that they live and how they see the world. After seeing that, I realized that these people were out of their minds. But luckily, the story does have a happy ending. Around September, I went to a few conferences and heard about people getting their negative reviews removed from the Airbnb accounts. I tried calling the Airbnb support line, but they were very hesitant to do anything about it. They said that their hands were tied and they can't just remove any negative comments, even if they felt it was unjustified or the guest made things up. They can't actually remove anything unless it violates a term of service. So I reread the review over and over again, and I noticed that they mentioned that the outside of the home was really smelly and that we have random people walking around the home. And I saw that Airbnb's terms of service says that they cannot write a review that faults a home for its location. So I thought that was very interesting. So I went back to Airbnb support and I said, hey, they mentioned the location and that has nothing to do with the home. So can we remove this negative review because of this? So after going up a few chains of command, they finally said yes. So luckily for us, we were able to remove that 1-star negative review, and all of our other reviews on that property so far have been 5 stars. And later that month, after that 1-star review was removed, we became super hosts, and I maintained that status ever since. So here's some advice for future hosts. The best thing you can do is always put on a good face and be as nice as you can to your guests. One thing that I learned that was a big mistake on my part was that a guest can only leave a review for 14 days after they leave your property. If they don't do it by the time, then they can't review you anymore. So if you feel like you've had a negative interaction with a guest and they may not have enjoyed their stay, don't poke them and ask them for a review. Just ignore the prompts to review your guests, and after 14 days pass, your rating will stay intact and you can move on from the experience. That being said, renting out our property on Airbnb has been extremely satisfying. We get to have nicer quality properties, make them look very beautiful, and get to charge almost 2 times the amount of rent that we would get without having to do that much more work. So now that you heard of my worst Airbnb experience as a host, and you still want to get into furnished rentals, then you can actually sign up to be an Airbnb host with the link down in the description. And if you guys want to see what our latest Airbnb looks like, then check out this video where we give you a home tour of our latest project. In the video, I share my design choices and major lessons learned, so you definitely want to check it out over here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.